Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Tony and welcome to my reef life. I got a few new changes in my display tank and ordered some corals, mainly because I lost some corals. In my last video I mentioned some corals that weren't doing well. I've since got rid of those, which were some monties that were on that rock and an encrusting monty which was there. You see the white spot. That rock is rock I added after about 6 months of having the tank up and running already, so I'm not sure if that had any negative effect on the tank or not as far as nitrate phosphates, because I still can't get a reading for either one. But these certain corals didn't make it. You see, I did get these huge monty caps from a local reefer that seemed to be doing well. I just have one placed down there. He's actually losing color, but I don't want to put him higher because I'm not even sure I want that in my tank, being that I have a big one up there and I don't want too much shading from them. But let's get to these new frags. They're exciting. They're from Fragbox. I order from them just because I have, consistently good corals. And they're just unique. They're not something I can get locally from other reefers. Starting from the left, you see an Australian Acan right there. Sorry if it doesn't show up well, I'm just shooting with my phone. Then there's a pink Acan. This was just labeled as a Chalice, so I'm not sure what kind it is, but the color got me. Orange is a harder color to get for corals, so I just love that. And just a bunch of SPS frags. Saramentosa, that one's called. Right next is a sunset mili frag. They call this pink acro a Nasuta frag. And this little funky guy they call a unique Tortusa. Then there's a yellow Tesla in the back here, and in front of him is it was just labeled as an Indonesian frag, so I'm not sure specific on the species, but it's just different, it'll look really cool as it grows out. And they're on this frag rack basically because I didn't have any more reef glue. I'm scared to just go buy regular crazy glue. If any of you guys have done that, let me know. I know Mike Paletta said he just goes to the dollar stores and gets crazy glue, but it just, I don't know, this weirds me out. Besides that, we're doing okay here. I did have a little bit of bubble algae still on that rock. It just came off with a turkey baster. Not sure why this rock specifically, but the corals are doing well there. Corals are doing well here. So I just not too concerned. My lighting could be a little too intense. I have it cranked at that schedule the BRS had for the Ecotech when they were doing the AI Prime video. Mushrooms growing like crazy. So that's neat, mainly below, crusting below. The green slimer, I might move him up. He's slowly growing. He does have some hair algae behind him. I really want to get a yellow tang in here, but I got to get some other fish first, and that's such a hard decision because availability on just unique type of fish is just so slim from J&L. They got all the good basic stuff, but don't. So Clams doing well. I feed, I spot feed everything. The SPS powder type food, maybe once a week. They included a small sample of the Polyp Lab Reefroids, which is a really fine SPS food, which they're enjoying. Now, you may know I've added a little bit of Miracle Mud. I can't say they're boosting my parameters too much because I did get the Coral Colors, the test kit from Red Sea, and iron seems to be getting depleted, so it's always low, and the other parameters are okay. But since I added the Miracle Mud, the only thing I noticed is this Trumpet just going wild. The lighting is not really cooperating, but it's just going off. So, and everything else is slowly growing. The Ratazoa, they actually, that frag got knocked off somehow. I had to glue it back on, but resilient little guy, he's going. The Lepto's doing well. There's, an encrusting monty that is slowly growing. It's the only monty that seems to be doing well. When I placed them over there, they didn't do so well. These clowns still haven't figured out the hosting with the bubble tip. I don't know if it's the bubble tip not ready or the clowns. But luckily, this bubble tip's not splitting. The one that did, I gave away. It split twice already with the new owners, which they don't mind. I think what do they have, a 400 or something? It's a huge tank. The LPS down there doing well. So just a matter of getting more fish, because there's not a whole lot of movement. Of course, they're all hiding now because I'm up in their face, but I'll work on it. Definitely a mandarin, a dragonette. My wrasse, the last one I bought, jumped out as well. Yes, I know it'll happen, and I know I should have a top. Even Red Sea now makes little. I'm going to try one more wrasse, a leopard wrasse. They look like more of a bottom swimmer, so hopefully he'll be okay. And if not, no more wrasses. And I'm trying to get some blue chromis, but they sold out pretty quick at JNL, and I can't find anywhere. And then after that, the yellow tang. And that's it for here. Let's go down below, see what's going on here. Nothing too major. You see the skimmer doing its thing. Not the most, based on the dosing, being that I dose right there, the skimmate does change from wet to dry. So I need to buy new tubing, and I want to move the 4 dosing tubes just straight into the section here with the return pump. And I know someone mentioned if you put the dosing tubes in the water, you won't get any air bubbles. You see there, I tried 2 check valves at the end of the line. That's calcium and magnesium, being that they dose less each day, to see if it would help with the bubbles in the line. But you can see bubbles in the line. Instead of a lot of little bubbles, there's just fewer, longer, bigger bubbles in there. But it's still dosing, so I'm not concerned. I will move those check valves, though, back below the doser, just because I don't like looking at them. As far as the Refugium, I'm getting some sponge growth in here. Do you see that? That's some kind of a sponge. It's going nuts over here. They're a filter feeder, so I'm not worried. And I'd rather the stuff be growing in here than up top or even in the sump. The Refugium's easy to clean out. I know the flow in here needs to be increased. But the only pump I have is just too much. So I have yet to buy a bigger pump, because I believe the one in there is only 80 gallons per hour, and it's not very much. And this little cheap light's doing great. I love it. The Kato, it's growing as fast as I need to. The pods are doing well. The dosing pump and everything over here is doing good. I do the colors by hand after I test. I test, every week or two. And that's really about it. As far nothing else has changed. I like to wait till there is, changes in the tank before I do an update. And hopefully the next one I'll have some more fish in here. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Until next time.